please welcome our first speaker, Jewel, and she is doing Why Pray Emoji Ain't High Five Emoji.
Thank you, Rose. And Rose, how do I plug in your laptop? The one button or the other?
If you can plug it in, I didn't plug anything in.
Oh, cool. Okay. That's tech computers, aren't they great?
Tech computers, aren't they great?
I don't care. Hi, so my name is Jewel Andrea Darger-Sacher. I'm from Oakland. My pronouns are she or they. And how else are we doing? I work at Reddit, which is kind of incidental, but it's a little it's actually kind of relevant. And I'm here to talk to you about why is not. For those of you reading at home, that is the folded hand emoji and the high five gesture, popular in these states and elsewhere around the world. So I even have notes for this. Okay. So what are emoji? You probably know this, but emojis are those cute little pictures that you put into your text messages that are, just add a little like flavor. It's not just the text. We also see them more and more in product documentation and in the actual product itself, like Slack, all about emojis. Asana, they have a cute little like unicorn floating around. So we're seeing more and more just like little images creeping into our text. So why do we care as documentarians? Because they're there, and because it's a great opportunity to miscommunicate your intent, or to fail to communicate, or to communicate something else entirely, like we saw Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez mentioned on NBC. It's like, oh, here's a cute little emoji that didn't actually mean what you thought it meant. Get back in that hot second. Let's see. Okay, so specifically, why do we care? Well, we serve a lot of different cultures. We serve people with a lot of different ways to read the content, to ingest your content. So if you're working in the United States, you have a lot of different cultures here. If you're serving across many countries, there are many other countries that also have multicultural backgrounds. And if you're working with people who use screen readers or who even just look at the text, like just, what's, like in Slack, you can hover over an emoji and it'll tell you what it's labeled. Because they're pictures, we don't necessarily know what they're supposed to mean. So specifically with the folded hands emoji, this means a bunch of different things to a bunch of different people, depending on kind of what's your cultural background and also what's the context that you're speaking in. So it sometimes can mean like thank you, or like please, or like I'm praying to a higher power to please let me ship my docs on time because the program managers didn't think to call me beforehand. But if you do manage to ship your docs on time, then people are like, oh, congrats. Or like, thank you for getting it out the door and thank you for getting my content. Really appreciate you writing your docs so that we can get your docs out the door. There's a bunch of other emojis that have many different translations or like many different concerns too. Like there's the, what was it we were talking about at lunch? The smiling emoji, like the one that shows a lot of teeth, it could mean, hey, I'm really happy, or it could mean, I'm gonna bite you, because it's got a lot of teeth. So you need to be careful, both when you're looking at the picture and you're looking at the label for this image. What are you trying to communicate? How is this going to read depending on the culture of the person reading it and the context that you're putting it into? And then you need to go talk to your translators too and see, do they understand what you're trying to put down in picture format so they can translate it appropriately? And hey, maybe you should remember, oh, they need to translate the images too. They need to translate those little emojis. You can't just like pull them out of your translatable strings. They mean something in different languages, in different cultures, in different contexts. So they need to be able to change those images too, as is appropriate. Other things to worry about too are like, when you write the text, you can generally be assured that the text will render about the same way. You pick your typeface, whatever, but it shows about the same in different languages. On different computers, different phones, different screens. This is my 1 minute? Okay, thank you, 1 minute. The emojis, we have a lot more variety across different systems where you'll get like a cute, very stylized smiley face on a Windows computer. You'll get like a very like heavily saturated face when you're using your Android. So they kind of look a little bit different. And you're like, oh, there might be a little more teeth on this one than the other one. So, thank you, 30 seconds. So, takeaways. Pictures have meaning. A picture's worth 1,000 words. Also, those words, sometimes those pictures come pre-labeled with words. So, double check what's the label for this emoji when you pick it. Ask your translators, double check it when they're translating it. And I just don't get to talk about peach jokes. Anyway, my name is Jewel. We can talk more about terrible spicy jokes at the unconference session at 3:25. Thank you, Rose, for this delightful opportunity.
Thank you, Jewel.